In this video, I'd like to talk about how to watch YouTube videos faster. Specifically, we're going to learn how to speed up videos on YouTube so you can learn things at a faster rate. This is good for tutorial videos, or if you just want to watch entertainment at a faster rate. Sometimes you might just be watching a documentary for fun and you'd like to watch it at a faster speed. I watch a lot of tutorial videos on YouTube about pretty much everything from home repair to programming. So here's a very typical example of a YouTube tutorial. This is how to set up a Shopify store. And you'll notice that this video is 41 minutes long. So 41 minutes is a long time. Wouldn't it be nice if you could speed that process up a bit? Now, traditionally, what people do is they click the gear icon and then they click playback speed, and then they have a few options here to speed up and slow down. And that works. The problem is that process is just a bit slow, because every time you want to speed up and slow down, you have to go through this process of clicking, and then moving the scroll bar up and down, and then selecting the speed you want to go to. And when you're going through a tutorial, there are many instances in which you'd like to speed up or slow down very quickly, and this process just gets very laborious once you do it once or twice. So what if there was a faster way to select various speed points without having to go through this clicking process? So that's where Chrome extensions come in. You can go to the Chrome Web Store and find extensions like this one, the YouTube Playback Speed Control. This one's my favorite. It has 1,500 reviews. It has 5 stars. Looks like they're doing pretty well here. If you look around the web store, you can see actually there are many speed controllers, and some of them work better than others. Some of them are for different websites. Some of them are exclusively for YouTube. I've tried several of them, and this one was by far my favorite, and I'll show you why in a minute. And by the way, it's free, of course. All you have to do is click the button and it will add to Chrome. So how do we actually use the extension? It's pretty easy. When the video is playing, if you look to the top right, you'll see this little 1.0, a right arrow and a left arrow. And all this does is allows you to speed up or slow down the video while you're watching it. You can go slower below 1.0, or you can go above 1.0, or if you click on the numbers themselves, that gets you back to 1.0, back to normal. And that's pretty important, because often when you're scrubbing through a video at a fast speed, you get to a point where you want to slow down, where you want to learn what the person is saying. You want to absorb what the person is saying in a more thorough fashion. And so when you come to a point in the video that's critical, you can just simply click the buttons themselves, click the numbers themselves, and get down to a normal playing speed of 1.0, or maybe a little bit faster at 1.25. And then when the person goes on to a non-critical portion, you can resume, going back to usually a hover around about 2.25 when I'm listening. And that has a lot to do with how thick the person's accent is, or how good his microphone quality is, or how information intensive the video is. If the video is just really light, then you can often watch at very fast speeds. If it's a very complex video, then you might only be able to watch at 1.25. So there's lots of factors that go into determining how fast you can actually watch the video. And that's why I like this particular plugin over the other ones, because this one allows you to just rapidly adjust while you're actually watching. If you were to watch my day of YouTube watching, you'd see me clicking these buttons probably hundreds of times a day. I'm actually, just without even thinking about it these days, I scrub up and I scrub down faster and slower by clicking these buttons pretty much all day long. It happens at a subconscious level now. And I'd really hate to go back to watching YouTube videos without this extension. By the way, I'll put a link to it in the description box below. So 2 other quick tips. Consider reducing the video resolution for faster downloading. Now, you might be in a place where you have a really fast internet connection, or you might have a slow internet connection. When you load a YouTube video, YouTube will attempt to determine the quality level that your PC is capable of handling at your current location. This one right now is defaulted to 720p, but you can see there are other resolution levels available for this video, 144 up to 1080. So the higher the number, the larger the image that you're downloading. So larger video files, of course, require more bandwidth, require more time to download each frame. And when you're blasting very quickly through a video, this may or may not be a factor depending on your internet connection. So if your internet starts sputtering at these higher speeds, you might want to just consider reducing down to 360p. Again, it really depends on the type of tutorial or the type of content you're watching. If it's not a very graphic intensive video, like if it's just somebody talking, then these values are largely irrelevant. On the other hand, if you're watching, say, Photoshop tutorials, then these values might be important because you might want to be able to see the buttons and the switches that the actual person is clicking in the video. So the type of content might dictate the quality level you select here. But for now, just know that the lower you go, the less connectivity issues you're going to have. If you have a decent internet connection, this might not be a factor at all. I can usually leave mine at 720p without much of a problem, sometimes 480p. Another pro tip is to consider wearing headphones when you're watching tutorials, especially complex tutorials. So one thing I've noticed is when I'm watching something that's very, very information heavy, for some reason I find that I'm able to concentrate more when the audio is just going right into my ears via my headphones. Probably because this prevents you from being distracted when you're listening to other things going on in the room. So when you have your headphones on, the audio is going right into your brain. It works out pretty well for me. So that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there. And stay tuned for more computer tips.